Okay, is this working? Thought I would do a live for you guys. I haven't done one of these in a long time. Haven't done one of these in a long time. I do these on Facebook all the time. I just got out of a Facebook live, and I thought I would show YouTube some love. Let's see if anyone actually comes in here or not. Haven't done these in so long because I just do my normal videos. It might not show up. So I'm going to sip my coffee and let this run, see if anyone comes in. Uh-oh, it does say there's a couple people, I think. All right. And let's see if anyone comes in. All right, Trevor. Hey, I think you're the first person to comment. Great to everyone. Oh, there we go. Some nice positive comments. Hey, you guys have me in here. I just did like a 30-minute one of these on Facebook, but I'm kind of on a roll. So if you guys got questions, man, hit me up. I'm going to get rid of any trolling or nonsense that happens real quick. Lacey, it's because I mostly do Facebook. I do way more Facebook. But I thought I would do one of these. I'm like, you know what? Let's see if we can get a little stuff flowing on this channel other than my normal videos. All right, we got questions. All right. Got it. So I can keep these. How do I do my coffee? My coffee is black. It's just straight black coffee. Like my coffee, like I like my women, dark and bitter. All right. Thoughts on GHD sit-ups? Do you prescribe them to your clients? They're okay. I've done them in the past. I find that it's easy to pull muscles on a GHD sit-up personally. So they're good exercise though. I just prefer more band type crunches and things like that if we're going to do crunching motions. I really like band crunches and I like hanging leg raises, right? That's what I like. Do coffee. Yeah, coffee is terrible for your teeth. But at this point, who cares, right? All right. A lot of activity in here. Do we get some questions for me, guys? Get me some questions, right? We need questions. Yes, these are my forearms. We'll have fun at church, Lacey. And we're just about to go do BJJ. Awesome, Emperor. What a day. All right. Do you have any clients that respond better to 20 sets per muscle than closer to 10? Very rarely. I mean, a handful. I would say my two highest volume clients I run these days are going to tend to be Justin. He used to do insane amounts of volume. And then Michelle. Most of my people, it's closer to 10. I find most people do better at closer to 10 sets per muscle per week, right? Do you recommend someone doing your intermediate workout routine to add glute bridges, hit the rest of that routine? I'd add good mornings. And it's not really mine. It's just a linear template that I put out as an example like 10 years ago, right? But if you want to add stuff, other posterior chain work, good mornings. And if you have access, glute ham raises, reverse hyperextensions, right? What's the funniest thing that's happened to you in the gym? I don't even know. How do we even define as funny? I've hit a guy with a barbell before with 4 plates aside in the squat rack. I hit the guy with the bar because he walked inside of it while I was re-racking it. True story. It's in the UK though. I've seen a lot of funny stuff. Used to watch the guy surfing. There was a Gold's I went to for years. The guy used to come in a Hawaiian shirt. This was over 20 years ago. And sunglasses, and he would stand up on top of the machine surfing. Right? Last one for me since I work. Is Nicola the strongest client in your cohort? Currently, yes. Perry was crazy strong. I had Perry. It was just the coaching got too expensive. I had Perry at a 635 squat. That's where I got him to. He just hit a 700-pound raw squat in a meet. Right? That's crazy. How tall is your client, Justin? I know you said he was in the low 180s. I think, okay, please don't hold me to this. I hate it when people ask me questions and I don't know for sure. I think he's 5'10". I think he's 5'10". I don't care what anybody says. Best tricep accessory for bench is wallet extensions. Remember to progressive overload like any other exercise. Wallet extensions. Any reason to overhead press? Honestly, I'm not a huge fan anymore. I know that's going to sound like blasphemy. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm just not a huge overhead press fan. It just, my shoulders don't like it. And I've had to take that mentality for my own personal shoulder health because it beats my shoulders up so much that I have to mentally tell myself that it's not a good exercise. Does that make sense? Because otherwise I'll start doing it again. I have clients who still overhead press and they like it and we train it. Does the time you go to sleep matter as long as you get 8 to 9 hours? No, it matters. Like it does matter. Like shift workers do not get the same quality of sleep. If we injure one side of your upper body, like one arm or shoulder, should we train the other side to full extent possible? Oh, absolutely. Even if it's in a cast. Do you think your client, Michelle, has the potential to hit a 225 or at least a 200-pound bench press drug-free? Yes. And I think what people forget with Michelle, they're thinking that she has like years and years and years and years of training. Okay? She doesn't. If we were to calculate her time spent training, Michelle's an intermediate. If we only go with weightlifting. Got her benching 165 decently well right now. We put over 100 pounds on her deadlift. Can you think of a reason why wrist wraps might actually make someone's bench press weaker? No, I can't think of any reason. Coach, do you plan on writing a new program anytime soon? No. Maybe. I don't know. I might. I don't know that I want to do program writing. Maybe. I'll think about it. It's a good question. We need another novice program. We need more of them. I think intermediates and up should run conjugate-based stuff. They can run a lot of stuff I have, custom templates, get coaching. What do you think of high-intensity training purely for hypertrophy? You mean like classic HIIT? I'm not a fan. Right? I'm not a fan. I'm not saying some elements to it aren't good, but the actual HIIT itself, not really. What is your advice to not fall into comparing yourself to others on social media, which leads to depression? Well, stop comparing yourself to people on social media. Paul, one of my former clients for a long time. Hi, Jason. Nice to see you're doing this again. Question about GBP. I alternate sled drags and farmer's carries for about 15 minutes 3 times a week. Is this enough to improve conditioning? Yes, absolutely. Right. Red onion, I have no idea. Opinions on farmers walks on leg day. Heavy farmers walks. You can do it. Just make sure you can recover. Right. Obviously, do it after you're lifting. Right. Do it at the end of your workout. Any benefits to band leg extensions? Yes, potentially patellar tendon health. Right. Can help with patellar tendon inflammation. How to deal with setbacks, injuries. Deal with them the best that you can. Learn from them. Don't be afraid of them. Use them to become wiser and move forward. Okay? It happens. Is it okay to deadlift 3 times per week? I'm going to go with probably not. If we could benefit from deadlifting 3 times a week, I would. Now, granted, I deadlift twice a week, which a lot of people think is crazy, by the way. I have friends who are like, yeah, you deadlift twice a week is insane. Yeah, but I deadlift over 600, closing in on 50. Three's a lot. Best grip training to improve grip strength on deadlifts other than not using straps, which I don't. Lots of rowing, axle bar work, any sort of curl that improves grip, power curls, hammer curls. I see you don't prescribe overhead tricep extension to your clients. Is there a reason for that potential danger? Yeah, they beat your shoulders up. We can get all the long head activation that we need from skull crushers. Like why do we need the overhead work? They're hell on your shoulders. I'm not saying they don't work, by the way. Okay, I want to be clear there. I'm not saying they're not extremely effective. But due to dumbbell, one arm behind the head dumbbell extensions are crazy effective. It's just the behind the head stuff beats your shoulders up. That's the issue. So we need to be clear on this. I'm not saying they don't work. No, they absolutely work. Why am I always hungry even though I eat like 200, 300 grams of protein a day, all whole foods? I'm literally hungry the whole day. I don't know, man. We must be related. I can relate to that. Do you still advocate for collagen on supplement stacks? That came up in a live collab I did with Ariel on Facebook, right? She takes it. I don't. I used to. The newest study I saw suggests there may not be benefits. May not be benefits. So I'm leaning in the direction of maybe not. This is why we keep up with research on stuff like this. You know, I had said before there was some promising research. I was messing with collagen because of it. Not so much. But you got that there growth hormone. You know what I'm saying? Jason, I love you. I love you too, Noodle Maker. I use as much cheat as you do in your demonstration videos on pen lays and do 200 times 5. My bench is 205 times 5. Is this indicative of bad pin layer form? I do film myself. Without seeing your form, I have no way to know, but it's not indicative of bad form. No. Can super high rep band curl strengthen bicep tendons the same way push down strengthen elbow tendons? Yes. Marco, I'm going with yes on that one. Any thoughts on knees over toes guy workout for knee health? Man. How about I leave it at that? Do you suggest or recommend low-dose aspirin at our ages only if your doctor prescribes it? Is there any viable substitute for the overhead press? Bench press. How about okay, some people don't want to hear that. How about incline? I think incline benching brings as much to the table, other than it's not standing. But you know what? We can do deadlifts. All those benefits of standing on the overhead, I think we can get that largely from deadlifts. Blaha, yeehaw. Alrighty then. Have you ever worked a 9 to 5? Gleb? Yes, obviously. I've also worked a 6 to 6. Right? When I got sick, I worked usually 5/12s. When I first got sick and got knocked out of the game and had to quit training and everything, I worked 5 12-hour shifts Monday through Friday at that time. But I've done 9 to 5s also. Hey, coach, bench is only 105 kilograms despite deadlift being over 200 kilograms. I'm aware I probably need to bulk, but need to stay in a weight class for boxing and already short with the class. Thanks. You probably have long arms, right? Okay. Got a better deadlift than you do a bench press, and you're a boxer. You probably have to just have a long wingspan, right? Just have a long wingspan. It is what it is. Keep working on your bench. Work on your triceps more, okay? If you can't bulk up because of your weight class, accept that it's going to go slower. Do more tricep work and get where you get. Have you also changed your opinion on creatine? What doses do you recommend? 5 grams a day. Cheap creatine monohydrate. It's usually my recommendation. That's what I recommend. Man, there's a lot of activity in here. Wow. I need to do more of these again. Right? We need to do more of these. Have you heard of I have no idea. Zombie cell removers. If so, do they actually do anything or just? I'm gonna go. I've never heard of this, but I'm gonna go with, if I had to bet $1 million, I'm gonna go with scam. I mean, without even knowing anything further, if you just saw someone advertising, we've got a zombie cell remover, and that's what they're advertising, what does your immediate gut instinct say? For long arm lifters, is chest or triceps more likely to be weak link on the bench? More likely? Well, it's not so much weak link as that you're just going to benefit from more tricep work because you have to push the weight a longer distance. L. Jason, how are you? How many times per day do you eat per day? I don't know. I kind of graze. Back in your current event stage, you preferred heavy weighted dips and pull-ups. Yeah, no, I'm going to go with no. And keep in mind that was no. For remember what I said kind of during, there was a little period of time of a few years where I'm like, my training advice kind of sucked, and I had a lot of bad stuff going on in my life, and I felt like it carried over to my channel. Remember, I made videos saying that. That falls in that range. Go with my early work or my later work, please. Kind of skip those. Maybe skip that whole 2015 up to about 2018. Just kind of, just don't take advice from that time period. If you have to look at the span of my work, because I've been doing this for 11 years now, right? How many direct sets of radial brachialis work? I don't know. I mean, how much other work are you doing? Keep in mind, you're only going to be able to handle so much of it. Marco, I'm less of a fan. I've seen too many injuries. In fact, this just came up in my Facebook Live earlier. This came up, this exact topic. So that's why I'm like, why are we asking about dips again? Okay, one of my long-term lifters, my long-term clients with like a 350 bench, finished his bench work earlier this year and was showing a friend of his how to do dips, and he tore his pec doing a body weight dip. I see a lot of injuries with dips. And I'm not saying, again, let's come back over. I'm not saying dips are not a good exercise. There's a lot of injury risk if you push them too heavy. Or if you're not, don't have the anatomy to do them well, right? I would say as a general rule, if dips hurt your shoulders at all, don't do them, period, right? Just stop. Number two, if you're going to do them, don't go under 10 reps with whatever weight you use. Like if you can do 500 pounds for 10 reps on there, by all means, don't go under 10. Just my general advice if you're going to use them. Your gym is pretty stacked. Any other equipment you're planning on purchasing? Dude, I don't have a room. There's stuff I would eventually like to get. I don't have space. I mean, I would eventually like to put the donkey attachment on my reverse hyper and get rid of that separate glute ham device. Right now though, I don't see doing any of that for a bit. Is it better to progress the total weight on weighted chin-ups rather than just looking to add weight when bulking? I don't know. I'd say more rows. I like rows. How's that? No, I mean, if you're going to do, again, we come back over to weighted chins. No, be easy on your shoulders. Maybe just do body weight until you're strong enough to do weighted for tens. Right? Do you think you will hit a 405 bench press? You seem to be pretty close to it at the moment. Oh, yeah. I am definitely going to hit a 405 bench. All right. We're going to get there. Are you lactose intolerant? I seem to be mildly lactose intolerant, right? I wouldn't say that it's serious. It's very mild. And it hasn't been consistent. That's one of those things to where, for example, when I lived in the UK, their milk tore my stomach up. I got back to Texas and it was very mild. Like I can handle it. It just gives me a bit of gas, a little bit of bloating. But is that still some intolerance? Yeah, it's just mild. So, the degree to which I have it, I think is hard to pin down. Did you get more progress on your deadlifts when you treated the good morning as a main exercise rather than an assistance work? No, my deadlift, it doesn't carry. My squats, they benefit greatly. What percentage of the lifter's 1 rep max is a 5 rep max? Well, there's charts. Go plug them in some calculators. Usually around 85, 86%. I appreciate the donation. Connor McGregor was never my friend. We'll jump over to your question. Glad you do live now. I've been 6 years and started listening to your ideas of training back in 8th grade. Have always enjoyed the insights. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. I'm glad that I have been able to help you. Thank you for your donation. Love it. I'm a Brit and had the same problem with UK milk. When I live abroad, I have no problems drinking as much as I want. Yeah. Will you ever bring back speed work to your routine? Possibly. Right now, I'm not looking at doing so, but I can't say never, right? Yesteryear, that's on a specific exercise. The other day you said you see more injuries with 10 rep sets than low reps. What are you saying now? Okay. Yesteryear, I'm talking with big movements. So I should quantify that. Okay, I should quantify that instead of a vague statement. Barbell movements, structural standing exercises. Okay, that's where I see that at. All right. Some of these body weight movements like dips, the issue is the ambiguous range of motion is a perfect example. Okay. It is very, very, very easy for a lot of people to rip a pec on a dip. Hence, the absolute loading becomes quite a big deal. Does that make sense? So we're dealing with two completely separate topics. But I do appreciate you allowing me to clarify that because, again, you pointed out a discrepancy. And again, it lets us clarify that. And it's probably something I should address in other videos now that you bring it up, so avoid confusion. So thank you for bringing that to my attention and giving me a chance to clarify that for people. What is your favorite type of cardio, Jason Sex? Is there a big risk of tearing a bicep on body weight chins? Would I say a big risk? Body weight chins? Depends on how much you weigh. Probably not an enormous risk. Is it there? How often do you train your neck? I find 8 sets a week works, but hits a brick wall. It's probably more than enough. If I have access to a camber bar and a safety squat bar, is there benefits of rotating all of them, including straight bar for good mornings, or just pick one? Honestly, if you have both of those, I would just stick to those two specialty bars for the good mornings. I wouldn't even bother with the straight bar, to be honest, right? Do you answer 531 questions? Nope. Daddy Jason, do you think Dreamy Bulls? I don't know who any of that is. Sorry. I don't know who any of the people you mentioned are. Hit a PR on squat this week. Bar speed was good overall, but I stalled for a split second midway through. I think that would indicate a potential weakness somewhere. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You definitely have a weakness if it's stalled midway through. That's where your sticking point is, right? Usually that sticking point for most people is about 3 to 4 inches above parallel. Do you guys get gyno on rad 140? Maybe. I don't know. Why are you guys messing with SARMs? Like, look. All right, hold up. Why are you throwing money away on something? Why do we care? Why is this even a topic? This modern batch of SARMs hasn't turned out to be any better than anabolics in terms of side effects, anything else. They're just really expensive. They're really expensive. You know, either commit or don't bother. My opinion. Opinion on Andrew Tate. I don't have an opinion on him. Thoughts regarding the Smith machines become popular? I don't like Smith machines. Any tips for guys training while working really stressful jobs? Get as much sleep as you can. Worry about your stress and fatigue management. Gleb, what were your grades in high school? I don't even remember. Gleb, I couldn't even tell you. I have no idea. Do most women have the potential to hit a 200 plus bench press drug free? No. Are there benefits to JM presses that I don't get from skull crushers? Subject to a lot of debate, Marco. I've done some comparisons, I think, in some reels and shorts lately, kind of breaking that down a little bit. I feel like the JM press is just a serious hard hitter. Like if your triceps are really and truly limiting your bench press, the carryover is extremely good. As a general tricep builder, particularly building the overall tricep, including the long head, the skull crusher is a better exercise. I think it's an overall better developer. I think the JM press is specific, a little more specific to bench lockout strength, right? Keeping in mind the long head of the tricep matters on max benching, and it doesn't just affect the lockout. So that's kind of a whole different topic. Leg press versus hack squat machine, which is better? Honestly, I don't think either one is better. I think they're both perfectly acceptable. Which one has the widest slide at your gym? That's the one you should probably use. Any tips for getting chicks at my gym? Gym is probably, I wouldn't advise that, man. Don't harass girls at the gym. That would be my advice. Let them train and don't mess with them. You know, be friendly with people, be casual, and don't be that dude. If girls are interested in the gym, they'll let you know. Right? Otherwise, you're harassing them and you're discouraging women from going to the gym. You know, and that's not good for anybody. We all want more fit women. Best exercise for glute, Jason. I do hip thrust, but I feel like I can mix it up. There's lots of great glute exercises: squats, deadlifts, reverse hypers. They're all good. Do you find that you have weaker workouts if you haven't eaten beforehand? That's an understatement. Like Gleb, like as in, is there any way I could rep 315 on the bench if I was fasted? I doubt it. Instead of being my 8 rep sets, it might be my 1 rep max. How's that? I don't know, 20-30% loss of strength. Maybe get 30 minutes into my workout and just pass out. Jason, what is the simplest way to make gains go up and stress go down? Eat more carbs. Based on current research, skull crushers barely high hypertrophy lateral head, but great hypertrophy the long head. Yep, that's true. Opinions on the vertical diet. I don't think that it's anything special, right? I think the vertical diet is it works, but keep in mind we don't need to name a diet. It's just basically a low FODMAP diet. so that you can get more calories in. That's it. You can get more clean calories in as a lifter. It's just a low FODMAP diet. I think the fact that he emphasizes red meat is meaningless in the grand scheme of things. The rest of it is, that's all it is. It's just, so do we even need to call it the vertical diet? He's marketed bro dieting with low FODMAP as a magical special thing. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. There's no need for us to call it a special diet. But hey, he has successfully marketed bro dieting again and made money off of it. More power to him. Not many people could pull that off. What other bicep exercise would you recommend apart from barbell curls? I don't recommend preacher curls at all. They're bicep tearers. Would it be acceptable to totally avoid rep work or deadlift and maxing every 2 weeks and obviously working lats, hamstring, glutes? Yeah, you could do that. Any advice for guys with a lagging chest benching 225? Well, if you're only benching 225, do more pause rep work. Okay. Start getting some higher rep pause work in. Failing that, you could add dumbbells or incline benching. How many sets can you tolerate for your chest before you run into recovery issues? For me, about 10. Do you use a sauna, Jason? They're awesome for recovery. No, I find they just drain me. What's your favorite movie or series? I can't answer that shorthand at the moment. Favorite TV shows? Battlestar Galactica, Game of Thrones, True Blood. The other one, the really funny one, is completely slipping my mind. There's a hilarious one. It's one of my favorite shows. Kenny Powers. There we go. Kenny Powers. Kenny motherfucking Powers. I don't curl the forehead anymore. I just don't think it's necessary. Right? That's okay. The more I look at it, I don't see the need. You can do it. It's fine. It's a good way to get a full range of motion. I like the power curls a little more. And I think it's because of that ability to lean forward. It's just easier on the tendons. What are your stats currently? I'm 46 years old. I am 5'9", and that's actual height, not internet height. Internet, you always add 3 inches. And I weighed 225 this morning on the scale. Do you adjust programming for clients that are in rigorous academic programs? Well, yeah, obviously. Sometimes we need to. If I had a night when I don't get enough sleep, it would be better to skip training, get good sleep. No, go ahead and train that day, but make sure you catch back up. Who's your favorite guitarist? Who do I think are the best guitarists, or who do I enjoy the most? I'm going to go with Billy Gibbons and Stevie Ray Vaughan as far as favorites. Who do I think is probably the most technically proficient guitarist I've ever seen? I'm going to go with Yngwie Malmsteen. Are you a Christian? Yes, I am a born-again Christian. I am not a very good one. Let me just state that. I'm not particularly a good Christian, but I am one. I could stand to work on it a little more. All right. Questions just slowed down. Did we lose connection or anything? Everything just paused on me. There we go. Don't ask a guy for advice is, how much did Jesus bench press? Jesus bench pressed the weight of all of your sins. How's that? Oh, wait, this guy's a troll. Let's get rid of him. I had to use it. Bye-bye. Oh, there we go. Let's get rid of these this is what happened. Now we've been running a little while. People have had time to make little troll accounts. All right. Did you ever have a client who it was impossible to get them to a 225-pound bench press? No. No. No, I have not. All right, guys, we've run this about 35 minutes. I've done now an hour in front of live streams with my two platforms today. I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. I appreciate everyone for showing up. I appreciate the donation. I love all of you guys and gals, and I guess I'll need to do this again soon, right? I'll do this again soon. So talk to you next time.